What's going on, guys? We're back with another episode here in Nolan's Pod. Yesterday I talked about the Braves and the trade deadline, and today I promised you guys that I was going to get the USA basketball. So we're going to get the USA basketball, and we're going to get to the Braves. First USA basketball. I wasn't able to catch the game that we played on Sunday, our first real game that we played against Serbia. I caught a little bit of it at the end, and of course, seen some highlights. And very impressed. Very impressed. I was very impressed. Very, very impressed by how he played. KD came back. Didn't seem like he missed a beat. So that was great. That game went as well as I think a lot of people thought. It went better than probably what a lot of people thought it was going to do. So I'm very, 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 very impressed with how we came out and how we played and how we took it seriously. Let's give you some stats. Serbia, Bogey, Bogdan Bogdanovic, who plays for the Hawks, Bogey, was 6 for 14 from the field with 14 points, 2 for 6 from long range. Joker plays on Serbia too. Of course, he was 8 for 15, 20 points, 8 assists, 5 rebounds. That's a Joker type game. Serbia they couldn't compete with Team USA. Team USA was clicking with all cylinders. We really were clicking with all cylinders. Some stats on Team USA. Let's first start with Devin Booker. Devin Booker had 12 points, 4 for 6 from the field, and 4 for 5 from long range. 5 assists and 2 steals. Drew Holiday, 15 points, 6 from 8 from the field, 3 for 3 from long range, 3 rebounds, 2 steals. Stephen Curry, 4 for 8 from the field, 3 for 7 from downtown. He had 11 points. AD, 7 points, 8 rebounds. Ant-Man, 11 points, 4 for 6 from the field, 2 for 3 from long range, 5 rebounds, 1 steal, and 1 block for Ant-Man. LeBron and KD led us to the wins. They had our highest points. KD led the team in points in front of LeBron. KD had 23 points, 2 rebounds, 8 from 9 from the field, 5 for 5 from long range, 2 for 2 from the free throw line. LeBron had 21 points, 1 3, 7 rebounds, 9 assists, 1 steal, 9 for 13 from the field for LeBron for 21 points. That's a LeBron type game. That's a KD type game. LeBron carried us through those exhibition games, and he carried us again in this game. But the focus that a lot of people are saying, KD really came back and won us this game. If we didn't have KD, in my opinion, we would not have lost this game. I've seen a lot of people say that if we didn't have KD in this game, we would have lost. No, because, again, if I read LeBron's stats back out to you guys, LeBron had a monster game. So he had a LeBron-type game. I know KD came back and surprised. We all thought he was going to be rusty, including me. I told you guys my last video on Team USA, I told you guys that when he comes back that he's going to be rusty, but he wasn't. It looked like he had been playing in those exhibition games already. He looked as well as probably what we all thought that Kevin Durant was going to look like. So, very, very lucky to have Kevin Durant. Very fortunate, very blessed. And we thank God that he's healthy and he's able to help us get this first victory. As a team, we shot 62% from the field. That is phenomenal. We out-rebounded Serbia 39-32, and we had more assists than Serbia. We had 24. My only concern is Serbia had 13 turnovers, and we had 17. Obviously, we want to cut down on our turnovers. We hit 18 threes as a ball club, so that's solid. That is pretty good. And the final score ended up being 110-84. So, I told you guys when I was doing my last video on Team USA, I said we're gonna be fine offensively. We're gonna score. Nobody's gonna stop us from scoring. It's gonna be on that other end of the floor. What are we gonna do with that other end of the floor? In a 40-minute game, we're going to have to defend. So Serbia only had 84 points. I would say that's pretty doggone good if you ask me. That's pretty doggone good if you ask me. 84 points in a 40-minute game. That's pretty good if you ask me. You could also ask the WNBA girls who play a 40-minute game. You could ask them. That's phenomenal defense. So I was very happy to see that we were able to lock in defensively and do what we needed to do. That way we can get out. We get stops. We get out on the open floor and we can run a fast break. And ain't nobody stopping our fast break. We get more stops, get out, run the floor, get some easy hoops, and that's less half-court offense that we have to play, which we look better in our half-court offense. That's one thing I told you in my last video. We have to we got to get better with our half-court offense. And in that game that we played on Sunday, that was a start. We made strides on that end in our half-court offense, so that's pretty good. It wasn't all flowers and roses, though. This was a nice blowout win, of course, but it did not come without controversy. As you know, when you're on a team like Team USA, and you have all these great players on the team, all this stuff that we had going on about when Kawhi got dropped from the team for not looking right or being quote-unquote hurt, we were like, who should replace Kawhi? And majority everybody said Jaylen Brown is the guy that should replace Kawhi Leonard. That did not happen. It went to Derek White. He replaced Kawhi Leonard. So it's an odd man out, Jaylen Brown. And like I just told you guys, when you have a team with all the best players in the world, and they're on the same team, somebody's always going to get left out. That's what happened in this game against Serbia. Jason Tatum and Tyrese Halliburton did not play. A player of Jason Tatum's caliber who just won a championship, who's one of the top 10 players in the league, if you might say, who's one of the future faces of the NBA, and he did not play. He didn't play. Didn't see a minute on the floor. And, when Steve Kerr was asked about it, he was just like, you had to make tough decisions. And I felt like he felt like an idiot for not playing Jason Tatum. And it's matchups. It's a matchup thing. And that's true. When you're playing certain teams and you match up against teams, maybe a team might be guard heavy. And you got to play a guard. You have to go small and play a guards versus playing a big man. Or maybe you have a team that's top heavy. Maybe you have a team that has a lot of big men, and you got to go with your big lineup and not play your guards, and you have to play your forwards and your centers, and your guards probably have to be at least like 6'6", 6'7". They can't be like a Trae Young size 6 feet 6'1". It's not gonna work defensively, especially. You know what I'm saying? So Serbia was a very guard heavy team outside of Joker. So. Or I should say, a very big team, and not very guard heavy, I should say. So it is matchups. I do get that. I understand that. Sometimes it's just the matchup, and sometimes somebody's going to be the odd man out based on that matchup, that game. That is true. I have no problem with what Steve Kerr said with that, because that is true. My only gripe about it is. We started blowing Serbia out, and we started blowing them out pretty good. You could have put Jason Tatum and Tyrese Halliburton in the game. And I know Steve Kerr said that he made Jason Tatum aware that it might be like that in this game. But you could have put them in the game because we started blowing Serbia out. We started blowing them out, and you telling me it wasn't nowhere in this game where you couldn't have put those guys in? When it's a blowout, you usually clear your bench, right? Am I right? I think I am. I'm 100% right, matter of fact. When it's a blowout, you clear out your bench and you let everybody play. So you telling me that it wasn't a time in this game where we were blowing these people out where you couldn't get these two guys in? That's my only gripe. But, Y'all got it. Y'all got it. You know, y'all the ones that have defended Steve Kerr all over 10 years and say, you know, he's such a great coach. Without him, the Warriors wouldn't have won those championships. Without him, they wouldn't have got Kevin Durant. Without him, Stephen Curry and Klay Thompson wouldn't be what they are today. You know, Steve Kerr is such a great coach. Well, I always said that Steve Kerr didn't have to coach those teams. Those teams had it themselves. You could have put any other coach on that team and they still would have won a championship. To this day, we still talk about if Mark Jackson was coaching that team, they still would have won championships. But you know, y'all got it again. Y'all got it. Y'all got it. Steve Kerr, he's such a great coach. He's such a great coach. He's a good coach. Remember that? You know what I'm saying? But y'all crying because y'all see more and more every time he coaches. Y'all see more and more he doesn't have that super team anymore. And they've all come back down to earth. Y'all see that he actually has to coach now what bad of a coach he actually is without having a super team or without having the Splash Brothers in their prime anymore, except for Steph Curry, who's still in his prime, obviously. So y'all seeing more and more. Y'all used to defend that, oh, he's such a good coach. He's such a good coach. But y'all seeing it more and more every single time Steve Kerr coaches now. He's human. The team's human. And he makes mistakes just like all the other coaches do. It's natural. You're gonna make mistakes as a coach. This was one of the many mistakes that you could say that he's made. You could have got Jason Tatum and Tyrese Halliburton in. And poor Tyrese Halliburton, everybody's talking about Jason Tatum didn't play. Didn't Tyrese Halliburton just lead the Indiana Pacers to the Eastern Conference Finals? Isn't Tyrese Halliburton a starting caliber, or isn't Tyrese Halliburton an all-star, I should say? Isn't he an all-star? Wasn't he an all-star just this past year? Didn't he almost lead his team past the Boston Celtics? Almost. You know? So poor Tyrese Halliburton, he didn't play either. And everybody's saying, oh, Jason Tatum didn't play. Tyrese Halliburton didn't play either. And he's an all-star player. So my only gripe with Steve Kerr is, you know, we were blowing these guys out. You could have got these guys in the game. Now, granted, he did address after the game that when we play South Sudan today, that Jason Tatum is definitely going to be playing. What about Tyrese Halliburton? Is he going to be playing too? I mean, you know, we need Jason Tatum to play in this game. We can't take South Sudan lightly like we did in that exhibition game where they almost beat us. And we only beat them by 1 point. We have to take them seriously. We are well aware of that, and we need to play our best game today against South Sudan. I will be watching this game. Couldn't watch the last one, but I will be watching this one. And I get it, like, you know, Kevin Durant. Think about it. In those exhibition games, we didn't have Kevin Durant. We didn't have KD. Kevin Durant's going to have to get somebody's minutes. You know what I'm saying? I understand he's going to have to take somebody's minutes. He's going to have to take somebody's minutes. I get it. I understand it. But again, you can't make that an excuse either because we were blowing these people out. Clear your bench. Jason Tatum and Tyrese Halliburton should have been in that game at the end when we were blowing Serbia out. That's just my gripe. We're going to see how Steve Kerr manages things today, you know. But we got that win, and it wasn't without controversy, you know. Wasn't without controversy on Steve Kerr's part. And like Steve Kerr said, Jason Tatum's going to play today against South Sudan. Maybe another star who should be playing gets left out. We shall see. You know, I will have that for you guys tomorrow, obviously. But we're going to have to make sure that we play our best game against South Sudan and take them seriously because they're not playing around. They're coming in to beat us. All these teams are trying to beat us. We are the team everybody's trying to beat. We are the team to beat, so we have to make sure every single one of these games we're on our A game. And it was a good start against Serbia, and we have a game today against South Sudan, and we're going to try to get that game too. So we're going to see what happens. Moving on, let's get into Braves news. The Braves won last night 5-1 against the Brewers. We had lost 6 in a row. We won 3 of our last 4 games, so that's a good sign. We're first in the wild card. We cut our lead down to 7 as the Phillies have been struggling. So, we keep moseying on along. We're trying. We're trying. We're taking it game by game. The news broke yesterday that we got Luke Jackson and Jorge Soler back, which I brought that to you guys. No, they did not play last night. They were still on the plane trying to get to Milwaukee. Expectation is that they will be playing today during the day game that we have today. So I'll be watching that game. I will be watching that game and Team USA at the same time. So, 2 games at once sounds pretty good to me. Some stats on last night. Jarred Kelenic finally got out of his slump. He had 2 hits. One of those was an RBI because he hit a homer. Then he had 2 hits, 1 RBI, 2 walks. He was on base, a total of 4 times last night? Let's see. 2, 4. Yep, 4 times last night. Austin Riley had 4 hits. All 4 of Austin Riley's hits was a single, and one of those hits was an RBI single. Marcel had 1 hit, which was an RBI single. Matt Olson drew 2 walks. Sean Murphy had 2 hits. Eddie Rosario had a 2-run single for 2 RBIs. Orlando Arcia is finally coming around. He had 2 hits last night against his former ball club. I'm really happy to see that Orlando Arcia is coming around because we're going to need his offense. We know what we're going to get from Orlando Arcia defensively. We need his offense, and he's finally starting to come around. So that's a very, very good sign. Matt Olson is waking up. He had 2 consecutive games where he homered against the New York Mets. He's waking up. Jarred Kelenic's getting out of his slump. Austin Riley 4-hit game. Marcel stays hot. Nacho Alvarez Jr. and Ramon Laureano each had 1 hit. We called up Bryce Elder, and he was phenomenal. He pitched a gem, basically. He went 6.1 innings, 5 hits, 7 strikeouts, and he gave up 1 run. That was off of A.J. Minter when A.J. Minter came in and replaced Bryce Elder. So he was phenomenal last night. A.J. Minter came in and finished the job. Joe Jimenez came in after that, finished the job in the 8th inning. Raisel Iglesias finished the job in the 9th inning, and we got a 5-1 win. Pat on the back from Bryce Elder. We called him up, and he did what we needed him to do, get us a win. I told you guys yesterday, we lost that game on Monday, but we're going to come back, and we're going to win the series. We won last night. Series is 1-1. We're going to try to win this afternoon, which we're going to do that too, and we're going to win the series. So, we're starting to play better baseball. Hopefully, we can take some steps forward. We're trying, We're trying. We're grinding. It's a long season. We're trying to do it. This is the last day of July, and we want to end this month off on a good note and go into August with some confidence. We're taking it day by day. We're trying. We're getting better. Good pitching matchup this afternoon with Freddie Peralta going against Chris Sale. And we got Chris Sale going on the mound. So, I feel pretty good about our chances. Max Fried's going to throw another bullpen session today. Hopefully he feels good again. That way he'll be able to start on Friday. That's a good sign. Reynaldo Lopez dodged a bullet and won't have to go to the injured list. He'll be starting on Saturday. So that's good, We going to do this thing, man. We going to do this thing. It's no quit in us. We going to do this thing as a team. We going to do this thing as a ball club. We going to do this thing, man. I'm confident. The Phillies are struggling. They came back down to life tremendously. But we know that they're going to get it back rolling again. So, and we're going to get rolling. So, it's going to be a fun finish in that wild card. Boy, I tell you, the teams are so stacked up. If you lose one game, you might be out of the playoff picture. If you win one game, you might be back in the playoff picture. So that wild card is definitely fun to look at in the National League. Man, that's all I have for you guys today, though. The results of Team USA's game against South Sudan tomorrow, I will have that for you guys. And hopefully that's a W. So that's it. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think about Steve Kerr's decision not to play Jason Tatum and Tyrese Halliburton. Let me know what you guys think about the win, and let me know what you guys think about the Braves game last night. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys tomorrow to talk about Team USA's victory over South Sudan, because I know that we're going to win.